Hey YouTube, West Texas Prepper here. Going to be part 2 on the Bugout camper. I'll go into a little more detail on my thoughts and ideas on the camper itself, and I've had some people email me and send me some private messages on what I mean by a Bugout camper. I know this is a tent-sided pop-up camper and probably not the ideal thing for bugging out per se in some situations. But as we get into this project, I'll go into a little more of my thoughts and ideas on what I'm planning on utilizing this trailer for. What I'm doing today is I posted a video on the doors. As you can see, this stuff has started coming off. This is just a contact paper that's been glued on. And I've finally decided what I'm going to do is pull all the doors off, use a heat gun, pull this off, and then sand it down, get in here and sand what I can, and then just go in and paint it or stain it. Depending on what kind of wood, it doesn't look like it's, I just have to look once I get it sanded down and get this off. I'll either go in with a nice dark stain to try to match stuff in the camper, or just a light brown spray paint or something like that to get these finished up and keep them waterproof and things like that, keep the spills and stuff down. What I have to go in and do is pull these hinges off. I left all my tools at home, but that's what I was going to show you what I was doing today. Left the wrong stuff when I got over here. What I'm going to do is go ahead and I'm going to leave these drawers in. The drawers are in good shape. The stuff's not coming off of them. But what I was looking at doing is I've got a container somewhere. Hang on a second. What I'm doing today is going through and pulling everything out of the drawers that's in here, and just sort of taking an inventory, so to speak, of what's in the camper. I'll come back in and clean. This stuff's just trash. We'll get rid of it. It's done. Windsock pole and stuff. It's been a long time since I've been in the camper, and so I'm just sort of looking through and getting stuff out and going from there. You know, dishes, I'll get the dishes taken inside, and there's some good stainless steel storage stuff. Skillets and pans. I'll take all this inside and evaluate what kind of shape it's in, and if I need to replace, I'll replace. Most of it, you know, for being out here in the camper, good shape. A little grease screen, you know, put it behind the stove that this has. Nice thing about this one, with this camper, the stove is removable. We can use the stove inside, or there's a place on the outside wall that you can hang it up and use it as well, which is pretty neat. Some of the staining that's inside is basically just from cooking up here on this, and I'll go over it in a little more detail later on. I would have a little more light in here. I'm using some shop lights right now. It's a little windy. In the building that I have this popped up in, I have doors on either end. And once I get those open, it gets a lot of light in here. But just because of the wind and it's fall, we have a lot of trees in this part of town, and so the leaves are a real big problem right now until everything drops and I can get everything swept up and cleaned up. But that's I'm in between pool jobs right now. I'm letting the pool fill up. It was a little empty, and so I figured I would come over here and just go through and sort of see. There's still quite a bit of cooking stuff in here. I'll get another box and we'll get that out of here and do that. But I just thought I'd give you guys an update on what's going on. Let me grab the camera here. And this is a real, as you can see here, this is not a storage compartment. What we have in here, this is the water tank. It looks to be in real good shape. I'm going to change out the fittings down here. This goes to the outside. The stuff on the outside is pretty bad. It does have electrical hookup, has the inverter and everything. You can also hook a battery up. I need to get a new battery for it before we do anything. It'll run on battery power, run the lights and stuff at nighttime if you need off of battery power. You can hook this in to your car, generator, etc., and run everything in here. It's all on a 12-volt system. You can see there it has, the lights are a little bad, it has plugs that you can plug into, so I have to check out all the electrical systems. I'm going to stick to this and not use this for storage, but this is a water tank. It looks like about a 6 gallon water tank. I'll get it cleaned out, get that going. This is this rack right here down at the bottom. This is where the stove goes when you store it. It just slides on there. This right here is for the table. The table will lay across, and this will actually turn into another bed. Put the cushions down, and then this is the rack where, sorry about the glow there, this is the rack where the table goes when you're in here dining. It'll also set up outside. Here's one of the doors that I've got pulled off. This is other storage. You can see you've got some things, some tent stakes, fuel filter, lantern mantles for our Coleman lantern, and there's the crank for the camper. This is accessible from outside, so anything that goes in here are typically what I would put in this particular compartment right here would be jacks, chocks, anything to do with getting the camper set up initially, and then also I've got another storage space over here for some of the same things. I have a fire extinguisher that I'll need to get replaced. Has real good storage in here. Here's one of the bins. This is over the wheel well, but has good storage in there for goods. That's where all the cooking stuff was, and so I'll reevaluate what's going on there. A long galley. This is probably almost a 6-foot long bench in here going along this area. I haven't measured it yet, but that's a lot of good counter space in a camper this size. We're a family of 6, and so when we go out and do something, storage is going to be not necessarily a problem, but once we get everything in here and get everybody situated, we're going to have to look at storage options. So having 6 foot of countertop in here is a real good thing. Other counter space over here. More storage underneath here. I will probably try to get all the cooking under here and use this for prep items that we're going to keep in the trailer. Another storage underneath here. As you can see, that's the wheel well, so this isn't too big in here, but you know, bags and things, we'll get it reorganized. Like I said, this has not been used in a lot of years, so I just have to go in and evaluate and see what we want to put in here. One of the things I've always that my dad always told me, and I've read about since I've started looking at the trailer, here's the fridge. You can see, I mean, that's just dirt, a little water, dirt got in there, not a big deal. That comes out. This is I don't know if this is electric or not. I'll have to check and see. If not, it's just a good ice box for cold storage. You know, you can put some ice in there, some frozen stuff, and it'll keep it cool as long as you're not opening and closing it quite a bit. But for jellies and peanut butter and things like that, semi-perishables, be a good place. I'll check and see if that's electric or not and go. Has a sink, does have a water pump on it, cutting board, more. So it's got good counter space, closet. Yeah, I've got a shelf up here, you can hang clothes. Storage underneath. This is where the Kim toilet will go. This is a full-size bed, and then this one down here at this end with the big glow, this is a queen-size bed, and we can put 3 of the boys on this, and we'll sleep them, you know, feet down at this end, head down at this end, and they'll have plenty of room. They're not tall enough where that's going to be an issue. They've still got some years to go there. And then what we'll do here is when we put this one down, this is where our daughter will sleep. Of course, you know, the boys are going to step all over her when they get out and have to go take care of the business. So I'm really pleased with the camper. Anyway, what I was talking about as far as loading the campers down, we've been with some other people that they kept their camper packed. And I need to go in and do some math on how heavy you can load one of these and what the gross vehicle weight is, and look at some of those ideas. That way I know what I can put in here for storage. I know I want to keep some water in here, keep some canned goods, keep some freeze-dried goods in here. That way if we ever do need to do something, I know we have something in here to go with. But that's sort of a look at the interior of the camper. I told you this is a 1984 model, so it's got some nice nice colors for 1984, but as in good a shape as everything is in. You can see right here, this is a little dirty. That'll clean off. That's just dirt up there. There's a little bit of a leak here. I've got some sealing stuff that I will go in, tighten all this stuff down, seal it up. But really, that's the only place that I've seen any water damage. Everything else is in real good shape. It does have interior lighting that runs off the battery. Of course, you know, it's not hooked up right now, so it does have a light there. Exhaust vent. The door, I still have the door up. It's just easier to leave that up so I can get in and out without any problems. But I've really been pleased. The more I look at it, the happier I am looking at this project. I'm a little disappointed I didn't bring the right tools, but I hadn't planned on coming over here and working on it today. I had about 45 minutes of downtime while I was waiting on a pool to fill up, so I thought I'd come by and see what I could get done. I had to do a little work on some of my pool equipment today and go from there. You know, this is a 8-quart stock pot. That's all the cookware. There's plenty of cookware to have in here. I'll, you know, double check all that, make sure it's in good shape. We'll get this finished cleaning out, and I've got a good winter project. Really planning on getting into it. Next couple of weeks I should be done with all my closings and everything pool wise, and we'll be able to get going on this a little more readily. As you can see, there's access there, and then we've got this door out here access wise, and so I don't want to put anything in here that's valuable. When I had it at one other storage place, somebody had actually tried to pry this open to get in there. I don't know if they did or not. It was closed when I went to pick it up. So anything that goes in there, non-valuable items. Door lock, still in good shape. Need to probably pull the lock apart, clean it, oil it, do that. Really not a lot wrong with this. A lot of it's just cosmetic stuff that, as you can see, the door, just from being stored, the heat got in here and peeled that stuff off. So we'll get all those pulled, sanded, repainted, get the hardware hung back on them, and we'll be good to go and go from there. Hey, thanks for watching, YouTube. If you have any questions, comments, as always, please feel free to leave those. I had somebody ask me the other day, you know, they felt bad. They didn't actually leave a message on this on one of my other videos with the Bugout camper, but they sent me a PM and said, you know, I didn't want to seem like a smart aleck talking about using this during the winter. And I said, no, not at all. I said, you brought up some good questions. It's just something I hadn't addressed yet. You know, this does have electrical capabilities. I do have a generator that we can hook up to this, and I know, you know, this tent material is not the warmest in the world, but you get 6 bodies in here and electric heater going, and it can stay comfortable. We have sleeping bag capabilities that are good for -10, so, and that's even for the young kids. So, you know, that's not really a big issue, but that's not my intentions for the camper, and I'll go into that in another video later on. But don't feel bad about posting a comment or leaving a question or something like that. I'm very open to that. It keeps me on my toes as far as my thinking and what I'm thinking about doing with projects, and I look for the input. I don't know everything. That's the one thing I do know. I don't know everything. So please leave comments and questions as you see fit. Thanks a lot, YouTube. Have a good weekend, and we will see you later on the web.